guys, so Joanne Wingrove here, or some of you may know me as JoJo, and I am a realtor in Delaware. So today's topic is going to be how to prepare your home for sale. So this is going to be some tips and then also some steps on how to prepare it to go for sale. As your realtor, I will be going through your home and helping you prepare it for sale. So the way I help prepare your home for sale is I do a walkthrough with you first. I familiarize myself with your home and I go from there helping to decide what are some things that you would want to take away to make the staging of your home better. So for the buyer, you don't want a qualified buyer to walk in there and count your home out because it's overly cluttered. So that's the first thing. You want to make sure that you clean your home and declutter. If you declutter, it makes the home look a lot bigger. It shows all the space you have and what the buyer can turn it into. The other thing you want to make sure is to improve your landscape. You want to make sure your landscape is neat and tidy because that is the first impression people see. You know, it could be simple like pulling your weeds before they come see the house or planting some shrubs and plants there if it's springtime. Just make sure that it looks nice and neat because you don't want somebody to walk in there and have a bad first impression because the outside looks a mess and then when they walk in they expect that as well. Also, you don't want to turn buyers away if you don't have a neat and tidy landscape. So you want to make sure you clean the outside as well. You don't want trash on the ground. You don't want like piles of tire on the grass. You want to make sure it's nice and clean for the buyer. You want that great first impression. You want to make the front door inviting. So, for example, you know, if you've got paint chips on your front door, you may want to consider repainting and repainting it to a nice inviting color that matches the home. So for example, if you've got teal shutters, you know, paint the door teal. Make sure it's matching, it looks nice. These are the type of things that would attract a buyer. You want to buy a new welcome mat. So that's not something sellers tend to think about. They tend to forget about the welcome mat, but you want to make sure the welcome mat is brand new, nice and clean so that they can envision themselves walking into a brand new home. Again, you want to remove your clutter and depersonalize. If you are not comfortable with having pictures hung up on the wall of your family because you have strangers coming in, then make sure to take them down, but also make sure not to have holes on the walls. I can tell you personally, in our home when we sold it, we kept the pictures of our dogs up. We may have had one or two pictures of ourselves because we were still living there. There's going to be realtors who tell you absolutely take it down. You know, I will tell you to decide that for yourself. You know, if you're not comfortable other people seeing your family, then don't. Now, I will say don't put too many pictures of your family because then the new family or new person cannot imagine themselves living there. And that's typically why people tell you take down your pictures. It's because A, we're going to be posting these pictures everywhere, you know, so that we can market your home. But B, also because if you have too many photos of your family, the next family can't envision themselves in the home. So the next thing is you want to make sure you organize your drawers and closet. Now, yes, while they won't be opening your drawers up, that's more for you to be able to close them and when you're ready to leave, just have them all organized. Your closet, you do, however, want to be organized because sometimes people will open a closet door just to see how much space there is, and you don't want anything falling out on them or, you know, clothes all over the place. It just doesn't look nice and tidy. You want to make sure every surface shines. If you've got older cabinets, you know, you want to make sure they shine There are some things at Lowe's you can do to polish them a little bit. You want to make sure everything looks nice and neat and clean. And if something shines, it typically feels like a brand new house. So you want to create that inviting environment for them. You want to take colors down a notch. So you don't want to have those very bright colors, different colors in every room. You want to make sure everything is nice and neutral. In our home, we typically have 3 colors: white, gray, or beige. Those are the 3 neutral colors we love. or I should say our kitchen is brown, but not the walls. The walls are not brown, they're white. So you want to take the colors down a notch because it might be a little overbearing for people, but if it's neutral, it has a nice neutral inviting environment for them. And that way, if it's painted white, they can eventually change it to whatever color they want. You know, what your desire may not be someone else's. So for example, in our old home, we have never seen the kitchen painted this color, and it's probably a blessing we did not, because we wouldn't have liked the house then. At some point, our old kitchen was a burnt orange color. That is not our taste. If we had walked into that house and saw it, we probably would have walked away. And while it's a simple fix of just painting it, sometimes the buyer can't envision something differently. So when we walked in there, it was painted gray and white. It was nice and neutral. We loved it, and that ended up being the home we bought. Eliminate bad odors. If you are a pet owner, there's these great things called a pet ionizer. You want to make sure you grab them, and it will ionize the scent of your pet. I also have my diffusers going. Now, you want to be careful with the scent you choose. Make sure it's inviting. I typically have citruses like lemon and orange because those are happy, neutral scents. I know that nobody is going to have an allergic reaction. So that was just some great tips to follow. So this next part of this video is going to be a checklist how to get your house ready to sell. So number 1, determine whether it's a good time to sell. So I can personally tell you right now, the market is in flux with buyers. We need some sellers. It is a great time to sell. And market value has gone up 10%, guys. What better time to sell? And interest rates are so low right now that buying is a great time too, because you can afford more house. So you get more bang for your buck because you're paying less interest. So number 2, find out if it's financially feasible for you to sell your home. So you want to make sure that if you list your home after you pay transfer tax, pay your realtor, you know what's going to be your surplus. Do you have enough equity in your home that you can go buy yourself a new home? And do you have enough equity in your house that you will get to have some money in your pocket if you choose not to sell it? If you choose to rent it, make sure you have enough equity in the home as well. So number 3, make some updates and repairs to improve your home value. Now, if you've got a great realtor like me, I will talk to you about where are some places that may be worth it to do repairs to increase your value. So like kitchen and bathrooms, guys, those are the biggest ones that people tend to look for. Those are their main spaces. Now, to get something like solar panels won't increase your value. That's not worth it to them. However, I will say you do want to make sure you make repairs before people come to see it. So for example, if you've got a plank on your deck that's up, make sure you nail it down. Not only is it a safety thing, but it's going to come up on the inspection and on the appraisal because it's a safety thing, and you don't want to have to pay a contractor to do it later when that's something simple that you can nail down yourself. Because once buyers start coming through and you have your home inspection, you're going to have to go through a licensed contractor. So that is definitely something you want to do is do your repairs and improvements before you list the home. You don't want to do improvements while you're listing the home because you don't want people to have an accident, with things going in. And also you don't want to have a qualified buyer walk away from your home because you decided to do repairs and all they see is a mess. So that leads to number 4, clean and declutter. So that was part of my tips earlier. You want to make sure the house is clean and decluttered because if somebody walks in there and the house is dirty, they're just going to walk right out. They're not going to even give the house a chance. I can tell you personally that this is true. If I walk into a house that smells or looks nasty and it looks like the house wasn't taken care of, I would walk away. And same thing, I had a buyer walk into a house and she didn't even go upstairs. She was like, no, I don't. She goes, this house smells disgusting. It looks dirty. The people didn't take care of it. And we walked right out. We didn't even last 2 minutes in that house. And then there's also little things to remember when you're cleaning and declutter. Don't forget to do your vents or your, oh my gosh, what's that called? So don't forget to do your vents or your crown moldings on the floor to make sure to dust them so that those are little things that can catch people's eye that may throw them off balance. And you may think, okay, that's like simple things. Like, really, do they care? Yeah, there are some people who really care. I've had some feedback, on a house. You guys forgot to get the vent. Every vent was wiped except for one on the very top that somebody missed. But so just little things like that. Focus on the curb appeal. You want to make sure that your outside, again, looks good. You want to make sure nothing is damaged. You want to make sure that when people walk up, that they want to go in the house. That is very inviting, very pretty. It looks like a brand new home, even if it's not brand new. As if the outside looks nice, they're excited to walk through those doors and see what the inside looks like. Number 6, schedule your professional photo shoot. So if you work with me, we always get professional photography done, whether I take them on a professional camera and edit them or whether we hire a professional photographer. So that is something, professional photos make a difference, guys. It totally just brings out the house. The lighting brings up the house, the wide angle, that shows the whole room versus separate photos. It is a great game changer when listing your home. And if you guys allow me, you also get a YouTube video of the home as if somebody's walking through it. And who knows, maybe you'll be on this channel as well if you're comfortable with it. Okay, number 7, decide a competitive asking price. So if you've got a good realtor like me, remember I break my sessions up into multiple different sessions. So session number 1 for me is I go around your house and I familiarize myself with it. Then I leave, I go home, do my homework, see what are some comparables in the area, and I create a CMA, which is called a comparative market analysis. And in that case means that I am going to tell you this is the price range I believe is a fair market value based on what has sold in your neighborhood and around. Typically a square mile within the last 3 to 6 months. I can go up to a year, but 3 to 6 months is ideal because that is the most recent, and that's what a appraiser will typically go for. And we'll discuss together, what you believe is the right price point within that range. Number 8, we will discuss your home tours and open houses. So we will decide when you want to do an open house. I can tell you at this market, sometimes we don't get to even do an open house because it goes under contract so quick. So what better time again, guys, is it than now to sell your home? But we would schedule your home tours. I'll ask you, okay, how many hours in advance do you need notice, or do you just need 15 minutes, 30 minutes? I have 2 dogs. I had to have a 2-hour notice to be able to take my dogs out so that the home could be showed. I don't recommend keeping your pets in the house because A, some people have allergies, but B, if they're anything like my mouthy dogs, they're going to bark at you the whole time. And that does not make a good showing for the people. Like, it can be very distracting. You can't even picture yourself in the home. And then number 9, let your agent take it from there. So at this point, I will market your home. I will help find a buyer for you. I will list it on the MLS. It'll be on any platform that I can get it on. You know, so I've got everything set. You're in the appointment center. You'll be able to verify when you want appointments. And then you will also sit down with me every week. Well, you won't sit down with me every week, but every week, every Friday typically, or Monday, I will send you a review on what people are saying about your house, with the price, with how everything looks, what's their favorite quality, what's their least favorite quality. That way you know what's going on in your home. And then step number 10, congratulations, your house is under contract. So it's time to look for your next home. All right, guys. Well, once again, this is Joanne Wingrove, and I am with Welcome Home Realty. I am a realtor in Delaware, and I hope this was really helpful for you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video.